Well, good morning. I'm holding a tea bag and cherry tomatoes. I'm not having them together, but I will be having them today. Welcome back. Early morning again. I'm experiencing really interesting things from my potato challenge journey focus. Making a little bit more herbal tea. Whoa. This morning I'm having this is a peppermint bark tea. I already had a cup of the Ticino and I had the turmeric, the ginger turmeric herbal tea. I am, as I've mentioned before, a very early riser, though this morning, and it wasn't just for the bathroom break that invariably happens in the middle of the night, though I woke up at 2 a.m. and laid there for a moment, and I thought, when I checked the time, and I thought, really? 2 a.m.? And I felt good. I felt rested. And I'm okay with that. So I hung out there for a minute, though by 2:10 a.m. I was up and I started with my fitness routine similar to what I did yesterday. I did a little bit different workout with Shelley Fowler of Fabulous 50s, and it was kind of a brain head to toe type of routine, a warm up, and then I did the cardio. Switched over to my light box for a half hour where I finished my leg lift isometric routine that I've been doing for years, ever since I got my artificial hips. And then I finished up with Amy's reverse crunch routine for my core. And that just felt great. So here I am at 4:35 a.m. feeling quite accomplished because I've gotten a lot done. And for anyone out there who is thinking, oh my gosh, if I got up this early in the morning, what in the world would I do? Well, I've been an early riser for many, many years, and I've been working multiple jobs since I was 15. If you've been here before, welcome back. Thank you for watching again. If you don't know, my name's Tiffany Anderson. I'm in the midst of a 3-day potato wellness challenge. I'm getting a jump start on my 2026 goals, and I'm doing this to give myself a break from caffeine. I'm wanting to lean out a little bit, better manage my inflammation, and recharge my batteries, just give myself a bit of encouragement. It's been a really stressful end of the year, and there's a lot of events coming up. And because I am juggling multiple jobs right now, there tends to be some compassion fatigue that shows up in my world. And working in the field of public health and working with people who are facing a lot of challenges in their world, it can weigh heavy on your heart when there's certainly some things I can help with resources and guidance and education, though on many realms I have to pass the torch over to someone else or just know that there's only so much I can do for another individual. So, this challenge here is giving myself a mental boost and emotional boost, and the fact that I slept so soundly and so deeply and then woke up feeling rested, there's a win right there. I am, yay. That was, I have been a chronically poor sleeper since childhood. And one of the things that I noticed when I did move over to a plant based diet back in 2016, that was one of the most remarkable results that I experienced, is that I began to sleep better for the first time in my life. And I didn't start eating this way until I was well into my late 40s, and I turned 60 this year. So, on a milestone year like this, for me to move forward with more ambitious health goals. It's a way for me to invest in my health. And I'm asking you, for my viewers, since I have a new channel, not a lot of viewers, I send out private links to people who are encouraging me and part of my world and curious about what I've been up to, that I would love to hear if you would like to share what would prevent you from simply just adding more vegetables to your diet. And the recent ebook that I put together that's part of my Utah Authors Day on Saturday, it's my 3 key concepts for improved health. And these are shared freely on my website at andersontherapeutics.com. And they are that I soothe and I nourish and I rest. There's a whole philosophy and a routine and a set of rituals that I do every day. And think about your morning rituals, your evening rituals, the things that you're doing every day to get yourself going, to wind yourself down in the evening, to pep yourself up when you need a little boost of energy. What are those rituals that are working for you and serving your best interest? That's my forte as a health coach and someone who's been a health nerd and working in the field of health for as long as I have. This is almost like a science project for me too, because the more I am in tune with my chronic conditions and everything that's going on with my health, then I feel much more effective in how I better manage my day-to-day living, and that I can remain independent, hopefully till the end. That is my goal, is to, live as long as I can, as healthfully as I can. And for any of you mature adults out there, perhaps you're a caregiver, that I imagine is the goal of all of us, is to be able to retire well. And I plan on working. I want to change the way I work as I get closer to 65. I'm in a corporate gig now for my main role in public health, and then I manage my website. I'm a writer, as I said, and I do like little teeny side gig jobs. So I have little writing jobs. I do survey sites. There's all sorts of things. I have an eBay store. There's all sorts of things that I'm doing to ensure that I have a steady source of income coming in. And for all you ladies out there, and guys too, but especially ladies, there's a large number of us women who are over 60 and certainly over 70, over 80, who are aging solo. And I find it liberating on many levels because of all the years in the past where we've been caring for other people and juggling many things, helping others, guiding others, whether it's children or a partner, spouse, elderly parents, whoever else in your world that you've cared for. And oftentimes we end up coming last, and it seems kind of natural and unfortunate and just part of how things work, because for any of you who were single parents, when your child needs you, they're first. And that's just kind of so the things that I've done in my past, as a young woman, where I am now as a 60-year-old woman looking to the future, I'm building and laying a strong foundation every day, and that's what this is all about. So I'm going to show you really quick. I wanted to make this kind of a shorter video since I've got another long day ahead of me, and I'm not hungry for breakfast yet. I know that I'm going to have I've got a lot of these russet potatoes baked in the fridge, and I have some leftover guacamole from the weekend. So I'm going to have kind of like a Mexi potato. So I'm going to be heating up some potatoes and putting some guacamole and salsa and then having a banana. So that will be my breakfast. For lunch, I was thinking about what I wanted to make, knowing that I was going to have my electric lunchbox that I've showed before. I love this thing. It's so neato because the little plug dealio here, then I can either use, a wall socket, or it actually has an adapter where I could heat this up in my car. And I've got a lot of places I need to be all over the valley. I'm going to be doing a lot of driving. It's not supposed to start snowing or raining until later today, so hopefully the roads are dry. And having a hot lunch when I'm out and about is very nice. And I don't always want to have to stop at a gas station or whatever. I will, to use the microwave, though. Having this convenient thing, I mean, it'll heat up food hot and bubbly and safe, and it's just so easy to do. So I thought I would layer, and so I'm starting out with some canned spinach. Now, any Popeye fans out there? I love canned spinach. I think this is delicious. So I'm going to put half of this down in the bottom of the container here, and the little extra fluid in here is important because you want this to steam. So this is how, if something's dry in there, which I have done things dry, I've put parchment in there and actually heated up sourdough English muffins and my little savory oat patties, and I did that when I was in Vegas. I showed that in another video, and I didn't even know it would work, but I just put the parchment in there and kind of toasted and heated up the breakfast sandwich, and that was delightful. Another thing I'm adding, I've got just some green beans, so I drained those since there's plenty of fluid in here, and I'm putting the whole can in here. And for those of you who are plant curious, or maybe you don't eat a lot of vegetables, maybe you are, I hope you are, there's 15 calories a serving in this thing, so eating the whole can, just and the whole, fresh, frozen, canned, nutrients, all that type of thing. There's still nutrients in vegetables, and, is canned the optimal? Not necessarily, though I like the taste of them, and they're yummy. It was 50 cents for that can, and it's going to fill me up and taste delicious, and I'm happy. I've also got some lemon juice, so I'll put some lemon juice in there. And, the best thing about being an adult and adulting, especially after you've, lived long enough, and I'm going to wait on the salt. I always have a little salt thing with me, is that we live our lives as we see fit. And as long as you're not hurting anybody or breaking any laws, it's just like, you do you. You do you. And for anyone that I'm coaching, and I've honestly never coached anyone who truly wants to fully adopt a plant-based diet. They're focusing on other things, and I've followed many different meal plans over the course of my life. And the motto that I've always told people is that next on here, I've got diced up some potatoes. So these potatoes are going to go on top of here. I tell people, eat what you want. You're an adult. You own your body. You are in charge of you. Eat what you want and simply accept the consequences of your dietary choices. That's it. It's easy. You know your body better than anyone. You know what you like, you know what tastes good, what feels good, and our bodies are smart. And a lot of times, I would say the majority of the time when we're eating foods, we know pretty quickly whether it was in our best interest or not, and whether it's, volume, or maybe it's too spicy if someone's got, ulcers or something. I mean, there's always a consequence. And I simply have just found that this meal plan, it literally saved my life when I adopted the starch solution, which is the meal plan I follow. And
the results were so optimal that I thought I didn't want to go back to the way of eating that was harming me. So I'm throwing 2 of these, and you saw the size of the spuds. So I've got 2 little handfuls of the spuds that I'm putting on top of the vegetables. I already put a little bit of lemon juice on the veggies. I'm gonna put a little more lemon juice on the spuds. And then I've got 3 those little cherry tomatoes that I showed you. I'm just gonna cut those in half and set those on top of this. Now, I've never heated this combo up before, though I know I like all the foods, so I'm gonna be happy eating them. I'm gonna put a little more pepper. I almost thought of cayenne, but I thought black pepper would be better with this. The last thing I'm gonna top, I have a balsamic glaze. So this is what I'm going to just drizzle a little bit of that across the top. So this will just be in my little lunchbox with an ice pack underneath. Little rogue green bean got away from me. And this will take probably about, I don't know, I'll give it maybe 20, 25, 30 minutes or whatever. I can feel a little bit on the outside when it starts to heat up, and then where the lid, there's a little vent, that little cap in the center. You actually just pop this off, and then that's where the steam comes out. And there's even a little carrier in here that has a teeny tiny fork. I usually take a bigger fork, but it's super cute. Really compact. And then it has a little carrying bag too. So really, really handy little gadget. So there's lunch. And for dessert, I finally found that my pineapple is ready to cut up. So I'm gonna slice this up and I'll take about this much for my dessert, and then I should have about this much left over. And I will leave you with that today. I challenge you to add more vegetables to your day. Fruit tends to be really easy for people, and fruit is wonderful. Fruit is a beautiful thing, though vegetables are, especially greens and the cruciferous vegetables, that eating the rainbow and all of the antioxidants and healing powers of vegetables and all that added fiber, all that roughage. If you're having any type of a digestive problem, I deal with so many families who are, even with their little ones, that they have chronic constipation and so many dietary challenges. And I invariably hear a lot of times, oh yeah, my kids won't eat vegetables. We don't eat a lot of vegetables. And there are so many easy ways to sneak those into your diet. That's where my new ebook, it just kind of expands my entire philosophy of my 3 key concepts, and I put it in a workbook style. And so that way a person could go through the 3 key concepts. It's very customizable, and adapt it to your current routine and take on many challenges. And I'm taking on what might seem like a big challenge for other people. This, other than giving up the caffeine, and this isn't really big for me. I've gone on a 21-day potato and water only. I did that with Spud Fit, and there's many ways that people will diet, and I would argue that some of them are incredibly unhealthy compared to something like this. And I've done some of those crazy ones, like the cabbage diet, and I did the grapefruit thing, and I followed Atkins for a while. I did the high protein thing, and
those things did not work for my body, and they certainly didn't give me any positive health consequences. In fact, some of them led to really negative health consequences that I had to clean up the mess. So like I said, eat what you want and just accept the consequences. And if you're not liking the consequences, if things aren't working out for you and you want to take care of your body in a less intrusive way, which wouldn't you rather have just more beautiful natural food in your world that's a lot less expensive than going to the doctor or one more prescription or medical procedure? And I'm a health educator. I have worked in a clinical setting. I am also an alternative healthcare provider. I am not a clinician, so this isn't medical advice. This is simply what's worked for me, and I encourage you to partner with your doctors and to discuss and seek out a registered dietitian. We have a local grocery store that a registered dietitian is always on site and offers consultations. You might be surprised with your insurance company or just check in your community that there are practitioners out there that could sit down with you one-on-one and customize something. And check out my ebook. Look in the description. My ebook goes live on December 4th. It's on Amazon, and I'm very proud of it. And you can also just take a sneak peek of the free version at andersontherapeutics.com. Thank you so much for watching. Give this a thumbs up if you found it useful, and check back later and see what I get up to on this potato challenge. Have a good day.